Seminar, preparation and presentation. Seminar is derived from the Latin word seminarium, that means seed plot. A new idea is planted and is made to grow to breed further ideas. So, intense study, apt preparation, and effective presentation are very important here. Concerning languages, if an idea is to be developed apart from the concepts, the speaker has to use his or her language both in written and spoken form. That is what is expected here in ability enhancement course concerning English language skills for sciences of University of Calicut. As you have gone through all the chapters and comprehend them, now you have to sharpen your critical thinking on writing and presenting the following chapters for your seminar presentation. Your seminar presentation should have a brief introduction about the topic that you are going to handle first, and then the exact detailed presentation of the topic, and at the end a concluding part to your seminar. Let's discuss here about the topics one by one and see how to make the presentation in a brief manner. An expedition in a newly discovered planet, a journal entry. It is a topic related to questioning the universe by Stephen Hawking's TED Talk. In the third part of the TED Talk, Hawking talks about the need of the exploration of universe in the near future to ensure the survival of humanity. The above topic is about the exploration and expedition. Within a century, we have to find a suitable planet to shift our livings there. Assume that you are one among the team of the expedition that discovered a suitable planet. Share your experiences, expectations, and thoughts on the new planet where you are now. In the introduction, say briefly what you are going to discuss in the paper, in the seminar paper. In conclusion, say, though it is an imaginary narrative, it is inevitable unless and otherwise we take the necessary precaution to save our earth. Second topic, a narrative of a day before 10,000 years. This topic is to be discussed based on the poem Above Pate Valley. When the poet rests above Pate Valley, he finds a piece of volcanic glass, obsidian, that was used by the then tribes who invaded the Pate Valley 10,000 years ago. Assume that you are one among the tribes who lived there then, using volcanic glass in their arrows to hunt animals and to save themselves from their enemies. Write an imaginative story of a day 10,000 years ago. In the introduction, ownership of this earth before millions and thousands of years may be mentioned. In the conclusion, our responsibility to hand over the universe to the future generation. The ownership of the future generation after centuries can also be mentioned. Third topic, the perspective of an ancient tree and its relationship with other species in the ecosystem. An ancient tree, for example, a 2000 years old sequoia tree that struggles hard to survive, talks about the early days before centuries, where all, including human beings, animals, birds, and plants, lived without doing any harm to one another. But the exploitation and wealth accumulating mentality of human beings ruined everything. So the ancient tree struggles hard to survive now. In this way, the narration should go. In the introduction, the dangers of deforestation, felling trees can be mentioned. In the conclusion, if we continue with our exploitation, we should search for a suitable planet to live in the recent future. This can be mentioned. The fourth topic is about the impact of dogmatic belief on contemporary Indian society. Actually, the dogmatic beliefs that demote scientific temper, keep people ignorant, and allow the privileged people to exploit the poor. This point should be discussed with apt examples. Then, fifth topic is to be discussed on Carl Sagan's The Dangers of Climate Change. Write an imaginative story with the events and incidents happen in 2124, that is after a century, after 100 years. The changes that will come over to this earth should also be kept in mind. Sixth topic, gender bias towards female scientists in 1950s and their survival. It is based on Light on a Dark Lady. It is about gender bias that prevailed in 1950s among the female scientists like Rosalind Franklin. Try to find one or two female scientists of that period who were neglected like Rosalind and say how they struggled hard to survive. In the introduction, the gender bias that prevails even now in some areas can be mentioned. In conclusion, the need to eradicate the gender bias should be stressed. Seventh topic, the viewpoints and narrative of the wood drake and heron about the poet's arrival to the water's edge. It is based on the piece of wild things. It is like the third topic where an ancient sequoia tree talks about the past and present. Here, the drake and heron should come out with their thoughts about human beings who thoughtlessly keep themselves away from nature and suffer unnecessarily on worrying about their future. In the introduction, human beings' anxiety and the root cause of it can be mentioned. In the conclusion, the need to understand the truth that nature has the healing power to cure the depression and mental wounds of human beings. These should be focused. Eighth topic, the recall of Fiokla and Danilka, who visit the village after 20 years, based on a day in the country. This topic is also like the second and fifth topics, where assumption of a life 10,000 years ago and a life after 100 years are made and discussed. But here in this topic, after 20 years, Fiokla and Danilka return to their village and recollect their childhood days with Taranti. The changes that have come over to the village and the basic general knowledge that they got from there, especially from Taranti and others then. The difference between the bookish knowledge and the knowledge from the experienced people can be discussed. In the introduction, the common beliefs that favor the negligence of all the traditional knowledge from the old generation can be mentioned. In the conclusion, it is good to say that apart from the bookish knowledge, some effective traditional knowledge too is needed. It was how our old generation knew things, learned things, as they did not get any bookish knowledge then there. These points should also be discussed.